Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to my kitchen. Welcome to my channel. As you can see, I am not dressed this morning. It is Sunday morning. I'm having a lazy Sunday. And I just thought we'd sit and have coffee together this morning, and I would bring you up to date on some changes. Come on in, grab your cup, have a seat. Okay, so I guess where I want to start is to kind of bring you up to date with my work situation. As many of you know, some of you might not, I actually lost my job about a year ago because I refused to take the vaccine that they wanted employees to get, and because of that I was put on unpaid leave. I would have been terminated, except I filed a grievance because I felt it wasn't fair or necessary. So then that prolonged the whole process. I could have retired at that time. I was old enough that I qualified for earlier retirement, but I really did not want to do that. I was not going to go quietly, and I was not going to just be put on the list of people that retired. I wanted to make it known or be official or whatever that no, I in fact was being let go, terminated, put on leave, whatever you want to call it, from my job of 10 years that I loved and I did really well, because I refused to put something in my body that I did not feel confident was safe. I had no idea of long-term outcome, all those question marks, and I knew that either way I was taking risk, but I believe that we should have the right to decide our own risk. Of course, the narrative was that you were putting everybody else at risk, even if they were vaccinated, which I'm sorry, then there's something wrong with that picture. And as time has proven, it's not true anyway. So all that to say, I was not just going to go on a retired list. Like, I just rode off into the sunset, and it was my decision to leave my job. The whole grievance process, got put into play. Everything takes time. So that was in May last year. And so the end of March this year, we had a mediation and we came to an agreement. Now, do I feel that the agreement we came to in any way comes close to compensating for the mental anguish and the losses that I have experienced? Anyway, I applied for an exemption, which is part of the process. So no, I do not feel that it even comes close, but nor would it ever. There is no compensating for the losses, the loss of a job I loved, but even more, well, and then loss of income. I guess I should put that out there as well. I haven't had any income in over a year, almost a year and a half. But it was the job that I loved and I did so well. And it was the loss of the people that I worked with. They were my work family. We were very close, and it was 10 years. So no, it did not come close to compensating for those things. But I also knew that to fight any longer was actually probably not going to get me anything more. It might be less. And it would be another year and a half waiting to have that process, in which I would have no income. I had no access to my little pension that I had been putting into even over this past year and a half. And what I would lose not getting that every month, I would never get in compensation at the next stage of the game if I had held out. So we did come to an agreement. I'm not allowed to share details. But I walked away feeling so many different things. Again, it's like the whole grief thing, the finality, but also like a chapter was closing and it was done, it was over, and that came with so many emotions. So that's fine. Then my husband and I went into Ottawa. We went out for dinner. And so the next day I got a message, and I had interviewed for a job about a week previous. Honestly, felt like I bombed the whole thing. I'm just so much anxiety these days, going out in public, doing things new that are unfamiliar. That was never me before. This is also a result of these past few years, and not just because of my job, but the loss of my mom and my dad, and so many things, 2 falls, so many things. I mean, it's just, the list goes on and on. So I felt like I had absolutely destroyed the whole interview, and I thought, yeah, I'll never get a call back. So the day after my mediation, I got a call back asking if I could come in the following Monday and just for an hour, work with the girl that's there, see what I thought of the system and if I'd like it and whatever. Well, I'll tell you, it's probably the most stressful hour I've spent in a long time. It's all foreign to me. I don't know the computer system. I've never worked in a workplace that is geared to what this one is geared to, so the whole thing is foreign, and I had an hour. So apparently I must have done okay, because I got a call the next day that I got the job. So I'm now back in the workforce. So I'm retired but working, and it's, you know, been really good. I've been training now for part of last week, 2 days last week, and I go back tomorrow. So then I have 2 weeks with the girl that I'm replacing, and she's awesome, and thank goodness she's a good trainer, because like she just makes everything so understandable, and I'm starting to feel that I'm getting a like a handle on the rhythm, and kind of just feeling a little more comfortable that it's not just all memory. I'm kind of seeing the process, the logical next steps, all those things, and so it's actually kind of exciting for me. A little terrifying, I'm not gonna lie. There's still a lot to learn, and I have 2 weeks now, and my schedule is 2 full days and 1 half day. The full days I have to be at work at 6:30 in the morning, and I can be there till 6 o'clock or after, depending how many clients we have booked that day. And then Fridays are just from 8 to 12. So it gives you kind of a long weekend every weekend, and it gives me days off in between that I can garden, I can kayak, I can do whatever I want to do, or sleep, or, you know, clean the house, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so that's big news for me. I really wasn't sure I'd ever work again. I'm so happy to be back in an office setting, behind a desk, at a computer. You know, it's still, I come home a little overwhelmed, but I'm not a puddle on the floor. They say I'm doing good, so we'll see. Over the next 2 weeks, I really got to pick up the pace though and get it together, because my trainer will be gone. So that's that news. Let me see what else. Okay. So the last post I did was about seed starting, and I'm going to show you some clips of where they are at now. And I don't even know what date that was. That's a couple weeks. Because I went to Huntsville to visit my kids on the Tuesday after I spent the hour at the office. And on Wednesday, where I was and here, got hit with that like crazy ice thunderstorm, flooding, trees blown down everywhere, and power out. Now in Huntsville, we didn't lose power, but a lot of the area did. A lot of flooding, A lot of tree damage, same here. Of course, then I get a call from my husband that the sump pump, of course, wasn't running because of the hydro being out, and our basement flooded before he could get the generator up and running and whatever. And then that was on Wednesday, and I came home Friday and the power had just come on. So that's a couple days with no power. It was still cold. It's not the weather that we are experiencing the last few days. That would have been a breeze, except we probably would have lost all our freezers. But anyway, it was cold. They were sleeping with coats and jackets and had coats and stuff on all day. I, felt bad that I missed it, but I was also kind of glad I missed it. Living in the country with no power is really hard because you lose your water system as well, and that bothers me more than no lights and no heat. But anyway, we're okay. That was Easter weekend. I came home Good Friday, and we were still able to have our Easter dinner, and I got things cleaned up, and we're good. And I'm thankful for every hydro worker that was out there in that mess. It was bad, that got power back on. So through that, though, I'm not sure what happened to my seeds, because I had planted them before I went north, and then with the power being out, I'd only planted them a few days before, and of course it was cold in here, and the heat pad that I had under them wasn't running. So a lot of them have germinated and sprouted. There's some that haven't yet. And I asked my daughter about it, the green thumb in further north, and she said they could still germinate. They're peppers that didn't come up, I think, most of them, if not all of them. And some did come and some haven't. She said they can take a long time. I think I'm going to put another seed in each one. Thankfully, I labeled them so I know what seed to put in. I'm about ready, maybe sometime today. The snow's just vanished. Like, we had a good foot on Easter weekend. Oh, before Easter weekend, before all the rain and stuff. And we've got nothing now. It's gone. I can actually get in the dirt. And I want to plant kale, spinach, chard, and what else? Oh, cilantro. I, for my life, have not ever been able to grow cilantro. And I'm thinking it's because I did not realize it doesn't like heat. It likes cooler temperatures. So I'm going to put it in a pot. And that way, once it starts getting too hot, I can find a shady spot for it, or I can even bring it in the house in the summer, because I'd like to keep it going if I can. So that's my plan for today. The other thing I'm going to do today, oh my goodness, I'm tired already. I think I might go back to bed. I'm going to, because I have to be up so early now, to be at work for 6:30, I get up at 5 or 4:30, depending what I have to do. So I want something that I can grab quick and eat on the way to work, that's healthy, not just garbage. And I also meal prep my lunches. So this morning I'm trying a new recipe, and we'll head over to the counter in a bit. After I finish my coffee, I might even make another. And I'm going to do a muffin in a mug. It is low carb, and it doesn't have any flour. It's made with flax meal. So we're going to try that out and see how that turns out. I'm giving it a test run today, and if it turns out good and I like it, I'll make another one and I will put it away for tomorrow. Yeah, so that's my day. That's what's been happening the last week or two. When I went to the mall yesterday, oh yeah, that was the other thing. Oh my gosh, you would not believe it. So Friday morning, I'm going to work, and my husband has to drive me because we had to sell my car a while back, with trying to eliminate payments when I wasn't working. And so right now my husband's having to drive me back and forth, and that's a little tricky because he works now I work and sometimes these don't jive. So we're not sure how we're going to cope with that and handle it, but we will. But on Friday, we're getting ready to go, and I put my phone in my sweater pocket, got in the car, got halfway down the road, just out in the subdivision here, went to grab my phone, it wasn't there. I thought, oh no, like it had to have fallen out of my pocket. I knew I had it coming out the door. I didn't hear it drop. So that kind of told me it wasn't on the stairs or whatever. Come back in, and of course there it is, laying face down in the driveway. It hadn't got run over, but it laid on its face. And Glenn got it, picked it up. My screen was all spidered. He hands it to me, and it's calling 911 at the same time. I'm going to be on a first name basis with these people. I can't tell you, at least, yeah, there's the whole story the morning I was leaving work, and I said, Siri, like, call the hospital, because I needed to talk to somebody, and they called 911. I had to pull over. It's happened a few times, but I wasn't even near the phone, so this was not my fault this time. So I'm pressing all the buttons, trying to tell it not to call. I thought I had it, and then we just get out to the highway, and who calls me but a dispatcher. And said, like, are you okay? And I'm like, yes. I dropped my phone, don't know how it does this. And so anyway, she was really good, but she had to ask me a bunch of questions to make sure I was who I said I was. And then she said, asked me where I was, and I told her approximately. I said, well, on my way to work, I'm here. And she goes, oh yeah, I can see you. That's a little I don't know, unnerving for me. But anyway, it all worked out. So yesterday, I had to go into the city and take my phone to Apple in the mall, a big mall. It's like 3 floors, it's huge. And I don't go out much, guys. Like, this may be no big deal to most of you, because I mean, there was a lot of people there, obviously. Some people don't mind shopping. It's borderline traumatizing for me. So I had Glenn drop me off, sent him to Costco to do the Costco stuff while I took my phone in. Well, it's about an hour appointment. It took a few minutes to get it set up, whatever. So then I just had to walk around. So I actually splurged, because the settlement that I had agreed to was deposited in my account yesterday. So I was able to pay off a bunch of stuff, and I had a little bit left over, and I got my first pension check. That's also a little unnerving, but anyway, it is what it is. So I had to get some new clothes for work, because a lot of the ones I had before had got stuff on them, whatever. And I went to Bath and Body Works, and I bought 5 hand soaps and 2 big candles. So I treated myself yesterday. So yeah, that was what I did yesterday. So today, I'm just taking it easy, other than the things I mentioned. Anyway, I just wanted to update you. I appreciate everybody. You know, I get messages from people saying they're praying for me, that, you know, encouraging me, supporting me. And I just want you to know it really means a lot. And I will have more recipes coming this week. I'm not sure that I'm going to keep up with the twice a week posting. I think it might end up being once. I'll see how it goes. Maybe some weeks it'll be 1 and some it'll be 2. But there should be at least 1 every week, theoretically. Anyway, thanks for hanging in with me through all this up and down and all the things. Having this job doesn't really change our long-term goals, but it was an opportunity that arose, and the other things like selling the house and stuff that we had anticipated were going to go quickly are not going quickly. And so, you know, you just do what you have to do in the meantime, and we'll see where it goes. And I'm just going to keep documenting it on here, and you guys can follow along, see how this works out. You know, life is bizarre some days, and being a person of faith, I, you know, get in a quandary sometimes, thinking I know what I'm supposed to be doing, and then it's not working out, and then I question, and it's like, God, like, I don't know what you're wanting here. And the only way I will know is just keep taking the next right step that's put in front of me. So that's what I'm doing. I'm being thankful that I have a house. I'm being thankful that I'm not on the street, because I'm telling you, that is a very real potential reality for all of us. Whether we think so or not, we have no idea how quickly life can turn, and we can end up with nothing and nowhere to go. So instead of complaining about this house and complaining that it's not sold, I'm being thankful that I have this house. I'm thankful that I'm not on the street, that my family has a place to come to. I'm just thankful, and I will continue to be thankful instead of complaining. Instead of complaining, because I do complain, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm learning to trust. The Bible says that our times are in His hands, and I know, looking back over my life, He's never let me down. Have things gone the way I wanted them to? No. Has it been easy when they did go the way I wanted them to? No. Like, I know, just know. So I have to let go, and I will let go, because I want to be in His will, and He knows the future more than I do. I have prayed for things, and He has not allowed them to happen, and I've been royally ticked off, resentful, angry, disappointed, discouraged. And now, looking back, I'm thankful, because He saved me from a lot of stuff that now I can see and I couldn't see then. So this is His deal, and He's opened doors for me right now with this, and I will continue walking through the doors that He opens for me, and making the most of each season, each step, whatever it is, and be thankful. And I'm thankful for you guys. So have a great day. I hope it's as nice where you are as it is here. I can hear the birds singing now in the morning. That absolutely thrills my soul. I don't know what it is. I love hearing the birds in the morning. Sometimes not at 4 o'clock, but you take what you get. And so yeah, have a good day. Grab another coffee. Enjoy the days and the moments. So what I've done already is I have melted 1 teaspoon of coconut oil in this mug. Now this is a breakfast mug, cooking, I forget what it's called. It's a cooker mug. So I got it when I was selling Pampered Chef, and I really like it for eggs. You can make like an omelet in here, put it in the microwave, put this lid on, and it has a hole to let the steam out. So we're going to try it today with the mug. So I've also sprayed it. And just to keep it from sticking, coming out easy, I'm going to now put an egg in. And I'm just mixing all these ingredients right in the mug. The recipe said to do it in a bowl and then dump it in a mug. Why would you? Maybe I'll find out. But so I have an egg, I have my coconut oil, I need a teaspoon of vanilla. But before I do that, I'm going to put in my baking powder, which is half a teaspoon, while my spoon is dry. And I'm going to put in the cinnamon. Now it calls for 1/4 teaspoon, but I'm putting half because I like cinnamon. Okay, so those are the only other dry ingredients I need this teaspoon for. So now I'm going to put in my teaspoon of vanilla. And I don't mind if a little slips over because I love vanilla too. Okay, so now I'm putting in, so I've got the vanilla coconut oil, baking powder, cinnamon. So now I want 1/4 cup of ground flax meal. So I grind my own and I keep it in the fridge because flax will go rancid. So it's 1/4 cup. I hope this turns out. I'm just a little nervous because I don't see any other liquid. And xylitol, so that's what I'm using. You can use whatever sweetener you want to use, sugar, whatever. Well, actually, this isn't xylitol, this is monk fruit. Okay, tablespoon, and that's it. I guess the egg gives it some liquid. So we're going to mix this all up really, really well. And it's going to go in the microwave, it says for 1.5 minutes. I want to make sure none of it's like sticking at the bottom, not stirred. Well, it smells good. So I'm going to put the lid on. I'm going to put it in. I'm probably going to do it for 1 minute and then check it, because every microwave's different. So, okay, I'll be back. Now you're supposed to let this sit for 1 minute so that it doesn't burn you, but I'm just going to check it first with a toothpick. It's pulled away from the sides of the cup. Oh yeah, that's done. Yep. Okay, so what I like about this is it has a silicone band around it so that you don't burn your fingers, because it gets quite hot. And it came right out. And it smells delicious. I did it for about 1 minute and 20 seconds. And I'm just going to let it cool, and then we will try it. And if it turns out good, I'm leaving everything out, and I'm just going to make another one for tomorrow morning. Okay, it's still warm, but well, it's got, I don't know, like, it looks like it had flour in it. It doesn't look heavy or dense. Let's try some butter. And so this is very low carb because there's no flour, no sugar. You can put fruit in this. I forgot to mention that. The recipe says that you can put 2 tablespoons of berries, either fresh or frozen, and 1 tablespoon of sugar-free chocolate chips. But I didn't do any of that, so I'm going to just take a bite. That's really good. I'm definitely making another one. Oh my goodness, that actually is really good. I think it could use even more cinnamon, but that's just me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed hanging out in my kitchen, even though it was brief this morning. Let me know if you try this. It's really good. I'm quite impressed. I think the blueberries would be really good in it. It's really good. I can see this being a morning ritual. The other thing I might make and have ready for mornings is that oatmeal, baked oatmeal with blueberries. I will link that up here, and I will put the recipe for this in the description below. If you want to follow along with this journey, crazy journey that I'm on, and all the things I do on it, hit subscribe down below. If you like this video, hit the like button, and have a great day.